Hey, what's going on? This is Iana Ma'at, and this is my amazing debonair husband, Ayize Ma'at, who is, what are you doing?
I'm texting. That's what I'm doing.
Hey, we're coming on because we wanted to answer this question that came in really quickly. It's an anonymous question, and I just want to first say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you and give kudos to the person who sent the question in, because we don't take it lightly when you send your questions in. She did it by video, and so we're going to kind of recap and summarize what her question is. Essentially, what she wants to know is, do I stay with my husband who has been cheating the entire time in our marriage? It sounds like it's been the entire time. It's been a
Yeah.
pattern. It's been repeated. It's been happening over and over again. And then she takes him back, or they try to resolve, and yet just a little while later she finds more evidence that he's dealing with the same person or a different person or whatever.
And I believe they went through counseling too. And even in that process of going through counseling, he was still cheating during that experience as well.
Yeah, he wasn't invested. She even went as far as to catfish her own husband. She catfished him, and she, for those who don't know what that means, she acted like she was somebody else, and she, tried to holler at him and whatever, I guess online or whatever, and he sent her, video. Sent her video of himself and
What was he doing?
ejaculating.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was ready to meet up, right? But didn't know it was his wife. Bow, 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 bow. Whoa, 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 wow. Let's marinate on this. So when we fast forward to the end of the video that she sent us, and the question that she had for us was ultimately, she said, first of all, she said, I'm not really angry. And she said, I don't know if it's because I'm just over it, or if it's because I'm, still in some way waiting for him to be the man that I want him to be. She mentioned also some kind of concern around, losing her children amidst divorce. And she has started and initiated divorce proceedings, yet they also had sex a couple of months ago. And he's kind of coming for her right now sexually, as if somehow good sex will remedy this pattern of infidelity.
Make you forget. Wash away your sins.
Wash it all away. So she wanted to know, what should I do? What should I do? I'm gonna let my husband weigh in first, and then I'll come on the back end.
I think that you pretty much already know what you should do, and I think you've taken steps to go in that direction. Based off of what you shared, now we don't have his perspective, but based off of what you shared, it seems like there's a lack of investment in you in the relationship, and it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to end the relationship, because to be invested is not just verbalizing it, it's not just going to counseling, but it's also taking the essential steps to ensure that you're securing a relationship in the process of trying to make it work. And so what does that look like? I mean, it looks like making sure you keep your dick in your pants, when you're married, and when you made a commitment to your spouse. It also makes sure that you're accountable to your partner. And so even if you have challenges, making sure that you, are making your partner aware of what it is that you're doing, where it is that you're going, what it is that you're feeling, so that you can try to get on the other side of whatever temptation there may be. And so if you're unwilling to do any of that stuff, not just unwilling, but if you don't demonstrate the effort, then really you've already made your decision or your choice in terms of what your priorities are. And it's not the relationship. And so, again, I think that for you, sis, it seems like you're coming to us for some encouragement around, what steps you need to take in terms of this relationship. And so my recommendation is that I think that this thing is done.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you need to proceed with what you've been doing.
Pretty much. My husband said that, he's not showing that he's willing to do what's required. I'm also not clear that he has the capacity. Many people work with us and come to us who've experienced infidelity, and they do overcome it. They do go to another level. They are able to reach another level of connection and communication and commitment in a relationship. But when you have somebody who's chronically cheating, has been doing it the entire time you have been married, and so much so that you just try to catfish him, and he don't know nothing about you. It wasn't like he had some type of connection with the people. He's just like, oh, you want to give it up? I'll get it too from you. And then is also trying to solve or remedy or come back and figure out how he can come for you, but not come back for you in an intimate way emotionally, not come back for you with remorse and with connection, but with sex. Right? To me, that says that there's probably some kind of addiction perhaps that's going on, and that thing runs deep. And so when you had that type of situation going on, people got to go get their own help. And you cannot want it enough for them. You cannot do anything for them to help them get it. All you can do is do what you need to do for you. And so you are going down the right path. You are making the right decision to separate yourself. I was talking to my husband before we did this video, and I was trying to figure out, what is the right way to really capture what it sounds like you may be kind of struggling with. And I say this with all respect and with all humility, and kudos for you for being transparent and being willing to come and share with us, because we don't take that lightly. But we said, oh, you're a settler. My husband used that word. And I said, oh, yes, that's it. Because you said, I'm not even really angry about it. I'm not sure if that's because I'm over it or because I'm still kind of hoping that he'll be the man I want him to be. He has shown you consistently who he is and how he is showing up. And when you settle, you do it chronically in your own life, then you get into a habit of lowering your expectations. Even when you are working on repairing or resolving infidelity, there have to be parameters, not even when, absolutely when. You gotta be parameters. There gotta be non-negotiable standards. And you said, I think in your video, that you have put some things out there and you have not seen those things met. So you have all the information you need. Don't be a settler, sis. And that's not, again, to take away from the progress that you have made and that you still stand to make, but it's to really call a thing and to be clear. When you say you're not even angry, then there's some work you have to do in terms of valuing yourself. I hear a woman who perhaps doesn't have a good sense of self, doesn't have a good sense of who you are and what you should be about and what you should be okay with and not okay with, doesn't have a good sense of how to advocate for herself, doesn't have a good sense of how to say something and mean it, doesn't have a good sense of that for yourself. And when you don't have those things, you become a settler. You settle for whatever is served to you. And so your work then becomes, from this point, to move forward in a way where you learn how to be one who has non-negotiable standards in your relationships.
Yes, I do want to wrap this up by just saying and qualify that, we're hearing your side of the story, and so we respect that. And we appreciate you taking the time to reach out to us. At the same time, too, it's only one half of the story. And so
it's a pretty compelling one half, though.
It's a pretty compelling one half, but I think that it would be irresponsible for us to move in a particular direction without knowing.
You got to make that decision fundamentally.
Yeah, we can't make that decision for you.
But you sound like you
have to make that
decision. On the right track.
You have to make that decision. And so, this ain't therapy. This is us providing a recommendation based off information that you have given us, not that he's given us. And so I just want to be fair in that respect.
Yeah. None of this is going to make any sense to you. It's not going to matter, and it ain't going to do nothing if you don't pause. Stop playing.
And start pushing.
Peace.
Peace.